I have a hard time. That's a tough one on me there. I'll admit, just walking back in the Alamo Dome, I had a bitter taste in my mouth from the last time I walked out of it, right? And the way we played in the first half, I thought I was going to get that bittersweet feeling again. So we're happy. It's hard to win in college football. There's upsets every single day. There's upsets going on right now as we speak. And, there's some things I'm really, really proud of, which I'm sure you won't ask me a whole lot about. And there's some things I'm very disappointed in that I'm sure you're fixing to ask me about. So let's get started.
Yeah, Jeff, you've mentioned that every game you felt like has been a step forward for you guys. Did you feel the same way about today, or were you left with more things that you feel like you have to address going forward?
The second half, 0 penalties, really cleaned that up. I was proud of that. Turnovers showed up, which has not been our forte. 2 fumbles. I thought the fumble by Kavorian was a huge turning point in the game. I felt bad for our defense tonight. It's tough enough trying to tackle that quarterback, but when you return a kick for a touchdown and you have 2 turnovers and you're scoring so fast because of our inability to run the football, that's hard on your defense.
Jeff, Frank had a monster game through the air, set the school record for most passing yards. JT set the school record for most receiving yards. What can you say about the passing game?
They played a lot of one-on-one out there. I was really surprised that, they were that paying attention to stopping the run, to be honest with you. So we came in wanting to run the ball. We thought they'd play a lot more coverage, and that's not what we got. We got some outside lane throws. Some kids made some great plays, and if we can protect him, he's really good. We got to get that fixed, man. And I'm really concerned about it because we got it cleaned up last week, and this week it showed up again. It looked very much like the Houston game. If we can protect him, we're hard to stop. We've got to be able to run the ball so we can get those guys out of those stances where they're just teeing off on my tackles. And we need to get some guys healthy. That needs to happen fast.
Jeff, what's the mood like in the locker room? How do the guys feel about how today went, and what was your message in that regard?
They're disappointed. Obviously, they know they could have played better. Goldberg came in there and made it a whole lot better. Had a World Wrestling Champion show up, and those kids went crazy in there. So that made their whole day. I think they were way more excited to hear him than they were me.
Jeff, what do you have to do to get the running game going? Was that just a function of how they stacked the box today, or?
And they did they did a lot of junk, and I don't mean junk to be in any way derogatory. They just did a lot of stuff in there, and and our receivers are so good. You just hate to not put a ball in their hands, and Brendan ran hard, and we finally got him going. We had the holding penalty, had a 26-yard run. I thought we were fixing to get some stuff going. I got to look at it, honestly, JJ. I had confidence. We ran the ball so well against Army, ran it so well against Texas, and then tonight we took a step back. So I need to be careful that I doubt it's a coincidence that we set the new school record throwing the ball. I know every time I looked out there it was one-on-one. And I was frustrated early because we couldn't execute out there. We kept getting one-on-one, and we couldn't get it done. We were terrible on third down, too. That's unlike us. I'm still sick about that.
You guys got the first kickoff return in program history when Carpenter ran that back. What did that do for you guys at that moment?
I'm just so happy for Chris. His off-the-field stuff is just my wife will testify to this. We had just got on vacation. It was 11:30 at night on a Saturday night, and Chris Carpenter called me. And, man, we had a great conversation. And he was in a bad spot. And I'm glad I took that call. And, man, he has just been skyrocketing ever since. Classes, practice, his life. I know his mama, who's been praying and calling me forever, is so happy. And his high school coach, Coach Kennedy, I know those people are so happy. So why am I telling y'all all that? It's a direct correlation, right? And he has just got his life going, and I couldn't be happier for him. And we've worked really hard at that. I thought it was a big play in the ball game. You can tell he's got some stuff to him, too. When he gets it, I think all of you kind of got a little, like I do, like he knows what he's doing with it, right? He's going to be fun to watch for the next few years.
Jeff, what happened to Rashad Wisdom, and what's his outlook?
We'll evaluate it. We'll get some more information through the night. And, kid's physically tough. It's been pretty common for him, but he doesn't miss much time, though. He seems to always rally back somehow. So we'll get that further eval.
Overall, with the whole roster, how do you feel about where you are with a health and stamina perspective at this point? You didn't really get to rest guys that much today.
Yeah, we were hoping we'd get some guys out of there, right? And that didn't happen. Now, we played a lot of kids on defense. We emptied the bench, and we held out probably. I don't know how many starters we held out tonight that probably could have played. We were just trying to be wise. And I had to look. It didn't seem like we got too nicked up, but we'll see how that is tomorrow. It always cracks me up when I say nicked up when my trainer's name is Nick. It's kind of funny, I guess.
Jeff, you get through non-conference with a 2-2 record. Those first 3 games have been talked about a bunch. Just what's your mood at this point of the season?
Oh, man, I'm everywhere, honestly. Kind of like this game was. I need to watch the film. I don't question my kids' effort. We're just not executing like I want us to yet. We're just not as clean as I want. We're not far off. But it's hard when you just keep rotating kids as much as we are right now. And I need to watch the video. Middle Tennessee just beating the heck out of Miami doesn't make me feel great right now, to be very honest with you, especially in Miami. In Miami, whew, that'll keep you up all week.
Jeff, was there anything defensively that jumped out in particular that you guys were missing that allowed them to move the ball pretty well for stretches?
I was disappointed on zone read a couple times. It was in once, backer once. Like I was just saying on the radio show a while ago, I remember one time I had the opportunity to make it 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 23. Well, simple math tells you that means they got to get 11 and a half each time, right, versus 8 one time. Then I'm thinking, let's just back him up. Surely they can't get 11 and a half twice. No, he got 22 and 1, and then they got the first down. I thought their backs were really good. I thought he was really good. They're doing a good job with what that quarterback can do by spreading the field and playing with such tempo. I thought Clarence did a really good job, and his kids are doing what they're being coached to do. And you could tell they were up to play us. They gave a great effort, and they gave us all we wanted. We had to play a lot longer than we planned on.
You mentioned getting the penalties cleaned up. Was that a point of emphasis at halftime, or what was your message when you got the guys in the locker room?
It was all week. They got Kavorian for supposedly throwing a kid down the sideline. Kavorian's one of the nicest kids in the freaking entire world. I got to watch that. They called Gavin for holding. Gavin is as fundamentally sound as any kid I've got right now. They called Booker, for tackling the kid, but then there is no whistle, and you don't know whether to knock them down or not knock them down. So when you're in my chair, what do you tell them? You know what I mean? So that's another one. I'm trying to think. There's 5, and that's 3 of them. I think Booker got one for unsportsmanlike conduct for retaliating. That's 4, so I don't remember the 5th one. But I know that the second half we were way cleaner, and really disappointed on 3rd and 1. They stoned us, and it's 4th and a foot, and disappointed on 4th and 4. They covered. They did a better job. There's a lot of things I'm disappointed in, but it is what it is. We won. I got to remember that, right? Our kids got it. But that's how my locker room is just like me right now. They're in there just disappointed we didn't play better.